What's up, everybody? It's Old Man Winter 8 for Sun and Ski Sports, and these are the Stance medium performance wool socks from the inside out. So when you're playing out in the cold weather, whether you're snowboarding, you're skiing, or really doing anything, you do want some socks that have proper performance. You want something that not only is going to be able to stick out the top of whatever boots you're wearing, but you also want to have some stuff that's going to give you the support, and it's going to be moisture wicking, something that's going to get that sweat away from your body, which means that your feet are going to stay warmer. And when it comes to the medium performance wool socks from Stance, these things have some of the most technical features that you are going to find in a sock. So starting on the inside, we're really just talking about the materials. They do have a standard blend of nylon, poly, and elastane to make sure that it's going to be moisture wicking, it's going to have long lasting fit and support, but it also has a high content of responsibly sourced RWS merino wool. And that merino wool is doing a couple things. One, it's adding a lot of warmth to the sock, but also merino wool itself is naturally moisture wicking, and it's also antimicrobial, so it's going to help keep the socks from stinking if you do sweat a lot. And that wool inside of these socks is the perfect thing for those people whose feet are just cold all the time, or if you're somebody who maybe goes out no matter what the temperature is and you might need a couple pair of socks for those extra cold days. And then when we go from the inside, the materials of the sock, we go to the outside, and we're really talking about the construction of the sock and how it's woven together. And first off, it does have their medium cushioning, so it is one of the warmer socks overall in the lineup, just how thick the sock is without it being overly thick. And then this entire thing has been coated with their Fresh Tech wash, and this is basically adding one more layer of superior moisture and odor control from the top of the sock all the way down to the toes. And then we do have their Infinite construction, which is basically where they're making this a little bit more durable in those high wear areas, because obviously if you're going to be standing on your feet all day long, just like with any socks you can get in the toe and heel area, you get a lot of pressure from your feet that can wear out the socks, and this just makes sure that the bottom of the sock is going to last just as long as the rest of the sock. And then underneath your foot, we also have their Performance Air cushioning, and this is basically where they've made the sock thicker in certain spots and put these little bit thinner lines in certain areas. And this is adding cushioning underneath your foot, so it does have a nice soft feel, but also with those little bit thinner areas, you are getting breathability to prevent your foot from getting all swampy underneath. And then we are talking about the breathability. We move up to their Performance Mesh area, and that's this area right up here on the sock. And this is a couple things. It's just a little bit thinner in that area to not only give you more breathability from the top of your foot, but also by putting it in the specific area right where your ankle bends. When you are moving forward and backward on your sock and you are flexing your ankle, by having a little bit thinner material, there's less of a chance of it bunching and being uncomfortable right there on the top of your ankle. And then when we move down a little bit further, this thing does have a little bit extra deep heel pocket, and it also has the arch support where it has been woven a little bit tighter across the inside of your foot. And it's not overly tight, but those two things alone keep the bottom of the sock in place on your foot, so when you are moving around, the sock isn't going to shift and drop down on your foot. It's going to stay put all day long. And then the last thing to note on this thing is the seamless toe. They didn't just take and knit a tube and then close it off with a seam. So when your toes are up in the front there's one less chance of a seam pushing on your toes and cutting off your circulation, which is going to add to comfort, but it also is adding to the warmth of the sock. But if you got any questions about anything we talked about in this video, definitely leave some comments down below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Sun and Ski YouTube channel, and make sure to head on into your local Sun and Ski so you can check out a pair of the medium performance wool Stance socks for yourself. And if you don't have one nearby, no problem. You can always look them up at sunandski.com.